a message for my people.
Nick Dad, baby. We the new label.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Now this the black sheep, sticking it to him. I need a crib like I'm Gatsby.
I need it.
In hand, just understand my
Pockets that deep.
with nothing to prove. I ain't got nothing to do. When they can't compete and I got nothing to lose. You see, they told me I'm the one that's gonna benefit.
25-1 odds to start the show in the Discord. Trevor Lawrence scored a touchdown. Pat Mahomes scored a touchdown. We're fucking back. We're fired up. George, one of the best weekends of all time. Welcome back to Veterans Minimum, the best sports betting vibe on the internet. I'm your host, Nick Dais. George Carmona to my left. Let's fucking go, baby.
Yeah.
We are back. We're excited. We're looking like SpongeBob and Patrick with the colors that we got on today. But
It's true,
you know
bro.
what? The Nickelodeon MVP, baby. This weekend was a fucking doozy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
No, I saw every single Instagram story. I know how to do quick math. It was a good weekend for you. And it was an ultimate sports weekend. Wild card in baseball. I know we don't touch on baseball at all, but I mean, it's been exciting games. And UFC and then college football was upset galore. And then yesterday, you did extremely well. And then to start today.
Oh,
Like,
man.
what is it? What is it that is in the air right now? Do you think that, you know, the picks are just falling?
I don't know, man. I think it was just like, we've been getting teased, bro. We've been getting teased like 4 out of 5, 7 out of 9s. Fucking 2 weeks ago in the UFC, the referee stops the first round. I have Jake Matthews by submission and round 1. He stops the fight. Then he overturns the call. Then Jake Matthews gets submitted in the 3rd round. And it's like, just
never
mass
heard.
shit was going.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah. So the referee has the judgment to reverse a call if he feels like he made a mistake.
And at what time frame?
Like within
Fucking immediately?
yeah, because the guy Neil Magny, for those of you who didn't watch, so Jake Matthews in the UFC, 170 pounder, welterweight, he's fighting Neil Magny. I got Matthews by sub plus 350. I got Matthews round 1 plus 600. And then I have Matthews by finish. All of those hit. The round ends, but right before the round ends, the referee like stops it because Neil Magny's arm kind of goes limp. And then Magny protests it, and then he overturned it. And I just knew right then and there, I'm like, some fuckery is gonna go down. So I've been getting fucking paws jerked, bro. Been getting jerked, and not the kind of jerk that I enjoy. I was just getting jerked by these bad decisions not going our way. But everything came together this weekend. Fucking crushed it in the UFC, crushed it on Sunday. I did a Diggs ladder. I said, we were talking about this, how I'm no longer just going to bet a guy to score in a revenge game. I'm going to take their props over.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I did that. His line was like 49.5 yards. He had like a $140 something. So I did 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Over on his catches too. The catches were 4.5. So I just had a really good weekend, man. And then even the Monday night game, you know, I put in the Discord a couple hours before the game. And if you want access to the Discord, just join the Patreon. It's $1 a month. You get shit like that. There's a lot of times where like I can't hit the Patreon, but I can hit the Discord. We're in the Discord active all the time. So yeah, patreon.com/veterans minimum. George, I'm just fired up, bro. I'm really fired up.
I'm kind of like interviewing you post game, like as a reporter. That's how I felt. My first question was no, because Nick, I also feel very cursed right now. The hooks have been getting me. The amount of fumbles that I've seen underneath 2 minutes to go in the game to win the game, it's unreal. Just look at Arkansas's game at Ole Miss. Look at Arkansas's game at Memphis, and then Thursday night football with Kyron Williams. Bro, I want you to know this. Nick, I want you to know this. This is why I said I'm cursed. In my head, I'm watching the game on my phone because we're at Cameron's parents' house. And in my head, I said, under 2 minutes, they're about to drive to score. Watch him fumble. I was like, I already fucking knew it, bro. I'm so cursed right now. And I'm glad you were able to reverse it. So that's why I don't want to yuck your yum. It was a great weekend for you. How do you do it, Nick?
Bro, listen.
Is it staying consistent? Just lay it out for the people that are struggling.
So here's the thing, right? It's very important. you gotta, and it sucks, right? Because as anyone in anything, in any genre of life and in your craft, no matter what it is, your relationship, you're gonna go through those rough patches, and you really gotta weather the storm. I'm a big weather the storm, figure it out kind of guy, and that's what you gotta do. You gotta keep making the right reads, and sometimes it just happens, bro. Like the Monday night game last week, Breece Hall fumbles at the 4-yard line, and then Breece Hall again this week, he fumbles. No, he gets tackled at the 1-yard line. So it's like, yo, you got to keep making the reads are good. And if a guy gets like, even tonight, right? Trevor Lawrence, thank God he scored in the second half. But in the first half, I'm texting you and I'm like, bro, I've seen this story before, right? He does a QB draw on the first one, gets tackled at the 1. And then on a QB sneak, the ball gets punched away at the 1-yard line. And you're just like, oh man, like when you're betting long enough, you know that fuckery's like not going to happen to you.
Yep.
Like, sorry, when it happens to you, you know it's not going to overturn. It's just going to be a miserable night. So that's what happened. You just got to like stick to your guns, man. Everything that you feel like happens and the things that you feel strongly about, like even Derrick Henry scoring a touchdown, stumbled into the end zone, had no business scoring a touchdown, truthfully, but we'll take that in this economy last week. Picks were good. Everything was good. I feel great, man. It's so much better when you record and like picks were crushing. We hit the Jalen Hurts same game parlay plus 550. Fucking, we would have had AJ Brown on that one if we'll get into that just a little bit, but really got to just stick to your guns, man. Like your eyes. I'm a big eye test guy.
Have you been looking more so into the revenge game aspect? Like, how do you approach a weekend when you're like, is it revenge games, birthdays, matchups you like? Like, what do you look at first?
No, it's not really, I don't buy into like birthdays. And I mean, look, Travis Kelce's birthday was Sunday. And Trevor Lawrence turned 26 today. He scored a touchdown.
Michael Pittman Jr.'s birthday was Sunday.
Michael Pittman Jr. Yeah. So there could be. Me, it's more so like if the narrative also fits the matchup, I'm for it. Right? Like we've done a good job on this show with the Eagles the last like 2 years, and it pains me because I fucking hate them. Like there's no team I hate more in my sports fandom than Philadelphia. But like I like a lot of their pieces, and they're a good team, right? And we just know that whenever people are yapping about the offense and the passing game, Jalen Hurts puts it in the air. And he did. He had over 200 yards. Like, bro, after the first quarter, he had like 104 yards and a touchdown pass. You're like, we're definitely going to hit that one. And it would have been cool if he could have hit A.J. Brown on that one, because then you would have hit one. Like, but it's just like trusting your eyes. But I thought it was going to be more of a passing game, and it kind of was.
Yeah.
Kind of was. So, look, we have a lot to get into.
We do.
You know where I want to start, though, bro?
Hit me with it.
For you, man.
For me?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Because once you officially got on board with the show, and we were flying those lower thirds in the beginning, the graphic for you said Baker Mayfield truther. And I'll never forget the one time we were talking about Baker Mayfield, and I was like, man, he used to be trash. You were just like, bro, he was never trash. It was the Browns. And then when you think about it, how bad it's gotten for them, I think it was the 40th quarterback that they've started with Dylan Gabriel over the weekend in London. Yeah. It's something insane since like the 2000s. You're looking at it now, and you're like, bro, is anyone playing better than Baker Mayfield right now at the quarterback position? I know you're a little biased because that's your guy, but if you could take a step back from the bias.
If I'm taking a step back, Dak Prescott is worrying me because I've seen this version of Dak before, and I had called it best bet of the weekend this past week. Becky, which is now 4-1, was Cowboys -2.5. So,
bro, that was also your Monday winner.
Yeah. I love the spot, and let's look to re-up on that again in the future because, like I said, bro, he's playing solid too. I think Baker, the thing that is making it so impressive is because of how much I've talked about how important a good offensive line is, and his offensive line has been just a revolving door of people, not a stable lineup, lots of injuries, and to win games in the NFL with an offensive line that's kind of pieced together, that's the more impressive than anything else that he's doing on the field. Now, he's obviously making highlight throw after highlight throw. I mean, bro is like Ibuka this past weekend kind of made me look like an idiot for saying that Scadaboo should win Offensive Rookie of the Year last week.
I just want to say,
Yeah.
you were getting smoked.
I haven't, by the way, haven't looked at the TikTok. And I posted it on my personal, have not looked at the comments. I don't want to, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back in a few weeks when Scadaboo puts 4 more in the end zone. Ibuka goes 4 weeks quiet, and I'm going to be like, oh, interesting. So it was a good little smack in the face for me this weekend that Baker and him have just developed this relationship that is shit, bro. I mean, are they the best duo in the NFL so far this season?
It's
They're
hard
in the category.
It's hard to argue against it. One thing that I do want to give credit to Tampa Bay is I love when teams draft best available as opposed to need. And in some cases, it's kind of the same. It's a want and a need. They didn't really need wide receiver help. But they're like, yo, he's the highest rated guy on our board. Mike Evans, north of 30. Chris Godwin off a serious injury. Fuck it. Let's just go crazy air raid. Get the best available. I'm for it. New York Giants, number 3 overall pick. They take a need in building on the strength with a defensive end with Abdul Carter, and also probably the best player in the draft. So sometimes it works that way. I hate when teams are like, yo, we need a lineman, and then you reach for a lineman, and then he's off your team in 3 years.
Yeah.
You know who I saw do that? My fucking team. David Wilson. Well, David Wilson had a career-ending injury. Like you didn't.
For the Raiders, Alex Leatherwood, out of Alabama.
Yeah.
They had went tackle a few years back.
I mean, bro,
Off the team.
there's so many. Like,
Yeah.
I saw Eli Apple. We need a corner. We need a left tackle, Eric Flowers. We need a tight end. Do we really need a tight end? No, just take the best available player, bro. Don't take a need. And with Tampa Bay, that's what they did. So I definitely want to show love to Tampa Bay. And, bro, if you think about it, dude, they're one of the best teams in the NFC in this decade. Like, I know they had Brady, right? But then even after Brady, they replaced him with Baker. You know, we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago when they played the Eagles and they suffered their first loss. That's just a team that Eagles fans are like, bro, they just have our number, especially when I go down there. When the Philly goes down to Tampa, they just always play them hard. And it's 4 straight come from behind wins for Baker Mayfield in this offense. Right now, he's in the top 10 for MVP. Where do you think he is?
I looked at it earlier today just to see where my prediction had landed. It was 22-1 last week. He's at 11-1 now.
Yep.
And he's behind Jordan Love. Let that sink in.
Which, like,
Let that sink in.
what are we doing?
I don't get, like, is it he has the marketability? What are we missing? Is it that this is just a really bad line on him? I mean, that number, if he continues to put up the numbers that he's been putting up, I mean, this past weekend, he puts up 375 passing yards. He was a first quarterback to ever do that and only have 5 incompletions in the history of NFL being played. So it's just the records are going his way. Like, what are people missing? Dak's even further down than him. And I think that he's a comparable number 2 in that slot.
So right now, the top, we'll go to Dak until Dak. You got Josh Allen, Mahomes, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott. And then you got Hurts and Lamar tied. I think you could eliminate Lamar Jackson because he's just not going to play enough time. You know who fucking should get MVP consideration? Joe Burrow. Like, bro, they have no, at halftime games, first quarter games are over without him.
Yeah.
Like, it's that much of a massive drop off. We'll get to the Bengals in just a sec. But I think we could do some eliminating, bro. I think we could eliminate Dak Prescott only because I don't think the team is going to be successful this year. Like, I think they're like an 8-win team. I don't think for Dak, and he's, to your point, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He was short offensive lineman. And then that's the other thing too, bro. I be watching football sometimes. Like Justin Herbert 2 weeks ago against the Giants. Two linemen down, and then they lose alt. Team fell apart. Mind you, great pass rushers on the Giants end, right? But then Seattle got a good front. Baker's short a couple linemen. Not a problem. Goes in there, takes care of business. You look at Patrick Mahomes. He don't have his linemen. Team falls apart, right? You look at CJ Stroud. He goes into Baltimore, lights them up. Now I know Baltimore is not the same old Baltimore,
Right.
but you look at some teams and it makes you wonder. Like I know the offensive line is very important, but would you rather just have A+ O linemen or A+ skill position players, and then you just navigate around that where, all right, our offensive line, we can't do 7-step dropbacks. So we got a dink and dunk and, Baker 3-step dropback, Ibuka slant or fade. Like there's ways to compromise that.
Correct.
And then you look at Baker in this example, right? Like, bro, Justin Herbert, again, just the offensive lineman being down, they've lost 2 in a row now. And I thought yesterday's loss was pretty bad. I think Dak definitely deserves his flowers. 10 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. To your point with Baker, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jared Goff, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's fucking balling. Makes you wonder, do coordinators matter? Because Detroit, they stumbled that first week. They play in Green Bay. A lot of hype. It's outdoors. Maybe that first game they needed an adjustment, but they've been a buzzsaw since. And I know they haven't really played the best of teams, but I've always said, if you play shit teams, you need to blow them out. And that's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
So I like Baker, man. I think this team is really, really special. They're going to get Mike Evans back. They're going to get some of these offensive linemen back. You look at their schedule, these next 2 weeks are going to be really, really crazy because they got the Niners this week, and then they got at Detroit. 2 marquee games where if he plays well and they, if they're 6-1, then you got at Saints, home Pats, at Buffalo. Got some big games that you can, if you could win these, not all of them, and light it up.
Is that Buffalo one night game?
No, it's in the morning.
Damn.
Crazy, right?
What the fuck is the NFL doing?
Yeah. So I wanted to start off with Baker, and then we good.
Sam Darnold didn't play too bad yesterday either. Like, dude, this is a man who has revitalized his career, and some of the throws that he was making, I was like, shit. So you had 2 quarterbacks that really put on, what did he finish with, 4 touchdowns? Like, this Seattle team is nothing to joke around with. When do they play the Rams next? That's going to be the real test.
Bro. Fucking Rams, bro. Fucking Rams. Am I crazy or am I biased that I feel like they're the best team in the league?
You're not crazy. Their offense is so just efficient, dude. They have nothing that they can't do on offense. But they shoot themselves in the foot.
So yes, they do, right? I'll never understand coaches. And McVay is like a whiz kid. He's only 39 still.
That's nice.
It's crazy.
He's what, 5 years older than you? No.
Yeah, he's 5 years older than me.
Jesus.
How crazy is that? He's been coaching since he was 31. Like, bro, this guy, like, next 20 years, he'll be coaching. At a high level too. But anyway, despite that, Matthew Stafford, if they win that game against the Niners, every talk show is leading off with, who's the MVP right now? He's balling. Puka balling. Atwell balling. Kieran Williams, I know he had the fumble, but balling. Devontae balling. And it's 4th and 1. Stafford is lighting them up. You run a handoff to your running back with no lead blocker where the Niners have 8 people in the box. And not only the offensive play call, Stafford, you can't be like, kill, fucking audible.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Puka, slant. Like, I don't get it, bro. Like, I'm watching that shit and I'm like, oh my God, they're going to run it. And they did. And I just started laughing. And I'm like, bro, fuck, man. They would have been 4-1. Open up the next morning with Stafford MVP talks. I'd be resurfacing the clips of, bro, I said this shit back in April. Like, and he, you know, he's 14-1. He's in the conversation. He's having a hell of a year, but they're 3-2 with 2 losses that they have no business losing.
Yeah.
Like, they should have never lost to that Eagles game. They started playing missionary offense, being super conservative and just, you know, hand off. Like, bro, he's lighting them up. It's the same shit that happened in the Super Bowl with Matt Ryan in that offense.
Yep.
They were moving the ball over, and then what happened? Let's sit on it. And
Slow it down.
Lose
momentum.
Shanahan and McVay under that coaching tree. Like, what are we doing there, bro? And I don't understand. And you know how I've always said in the past, like, yo, go for 2 if your kicker is kind of erratic. Like, go for the win if you have a stud quarterback. That's Stafford, and he's lighting them up. And that shit just got me so pissed, bro, because not only was that a bad loss for the Rams because they were 9-point favorites. By the way, big favorites this week got crushed. Bills lost as 8-point favorites. Rams lost as 9-point favorites. You had the Cardinals blow it again.
Yep.
We'll get to them in just a sec. But, like, bro, the Rams, man, I felt like such a bad loss because you look at the Niners putting out a JV team outside of McCaffrey. And that is more alarming if you're a Rams fan. Like, bro, bunch of cast-offs beat you.
Yeah, but I think, bro, and I got flack for this heavy last year that it's just a really well-coached team. Like, Shanahan, even with shit, will still put up a competitive team. And I think that Mac Jones now can fall into the category of cast-offs that are starting to redevelop their career. I mean, he's literally like Shanahan is gassing him up beyond belief, right? And it could be a good trade piece in the middle of the season for teams that, you know, need a quarterback. You know, they went down a D end. What if the 49ers are competitive? They send Brock to Vegas, or they send Mac Jones to Vegas, and then they get Crosby. I mean, it would have to be way more than just that, but imagine if he keeps playing the way that he is. And you already know that Jones is saying that, you know, Brock Purdy is the guy. I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. I know you have a trade suggestion that we'll touch on later in the show, but this 49ers team is very competitive. And we have to stop the thought process of it's an injured, banged up team. Like, they'll still figure a way to win. And especially in division like this, that spot is just so trappy with it being on a Thursday night. Like, there was just so many signs that said that, it's not all that it's, you know, caked up to be in the lines, but the Rams are still legit.
Yeah, I still feel really good about the Rams. I like them a lot, man. I feel like they could go anywhere, and Stafford is a cold weather quarterback. Like, I just like the makeup of that team. You mentioned the trade, right? There's been a lot of rumblings about trades, and watching that Bengals game, I know they ended up, depending on when you bet that game, you know, you might have covered the 11.5, but the Lions absolutely smoke. Oh, sorry, I'm bugging out. I was thinking about a different game, but 37-24, the Lions win in Cincinnati, right? Mm-hmm. Bro, I'm watching that game, and I just watched the game prior. The Giants lose to the Saints, right? And as I'm watching that game, I'm thinking to myself, I think there's a trade between the Bengals and the Giants that could save the season for both teams. The Bengals now have lost 3 in a row, and they look completely outclassed, outmatched, and just uninspired. I know Chase ended up scoring 2 touchdowns in that second half. Super garbage time. Like, talk about letting up. Detroit let up. Yo, what do you think about this trade, right? Jameis Winston and Thibodeau for T. Higgins.
Jameis is such a good trade piece. Like, he fits perfectly.
So if you're the Bengals, right, you see that you have glaring, alarming issues on the offensive line. It's not worth having 2 alpha wide receivers when they can't block for your quarterback that is now officially injury prone. So you could get away from the $28, $29 million to T. Higgins. The Giants could take that contract because they're not paying Jackson Dart. They're not paying any quarterback. You get him an alpha wide receiver that then you could pair up with Neighbors for next year. But then this year you could be competitive and have a weapon. You could build the offense around a T. Higgins. Thibodeau, they didn't pick up the 5th-year option on him. And then Winston is not going to see the field. I mean, shit, he was the number 2 quarterback. He didn't see the field after they benched Russell Wilson. I feel like it's such a great move, and it helps everybody. It gets the Bengals another pass rusher that's a stud, who's on a contract, prove a year. They get a quarterback that's going to be competent. And then the Giants, they get a number 1 receiver to slot in for this offense, which, like, bro, not for nothing. I thought the offense, they were moving the ball. Theo Johnson has scored 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games. They just turned the ball over 5 straight times against the Saints. And then that's why it got ugly. Jackson Dart throws a 1 interception on 4th down. I was cool with it. All my friends back home in the group chat, they're like making fun of Jackson Dart. I'm like, bro, I've been consistent about this my entire life in football. Like, you throw a pick on 4th down from the 50, you're trying to make a play, it's a punt.
Yeah.
All right, it goes, his first career interception. Cool. Don't care. I've been consistent with this, not because of Jackson Dart. This has been my take my whole life with the interceptions.
It's the right play.
I just feel like, yeah, he was trying to make a play, bro. I don't want you to throw interceptions inside your 20 and inside your red zone. Everything else, whatever, bro, it's a punt. And I feel like that's a trade that I think it makes sense for both teams, bro. What do you think?
I agree with everything that you stated. It sucks watching T. Higgins and Jamar Chase go through what they have to go through. You know, Jamar Chase had 3 tackles yesterday.
Yeah.
Almost led the team in tackles.
Yeah, before he went crazy in the second half, he had 3 tackles on all 3 interceptions. That's fucking wild.
Stat pattern.
That's a $40 million wide receiver you got out there
crazy.
as a gunner.
I mean, he's finding excitement in it. He's going to have to do it for the remainder of the year. Now, is Jameis Winston going to revitalize this Bengals team? Bro, I just don't even know. They don't even give Jameis like any sort of media time at all. Like, is he even traveling with the team?
Bro, Jameis, yeah, he's been traveling, but like, why should he get media time? Did you see what Bruce Arians said about Shedeur Sanders? That was going around. He was like, why is the 3rd string quarterback getting interviewed?
Because they're electric on television is why.
Exactly.
100,000%.
It's the same reason why people didn't want Colin Kaepernick, despite how you feel about it. Tim Tebow, they didn't want the circus that was surrounding those guys. And when they weren't going to be starters, they're like, yo, bro, we can't have 27 reporters for the 3rd string quarterback. Like, that was the same reason why Tim Tebow fizzled out.
Yeah.
Look, he wasn't the best passers. And then even Colin Kaepernick, the last year when he got outplayed in the preseason and then he took the knee, as everyone knows. And yeah, did he get ran out the league? Yeah, he did. But also, teams didn't want to take chances on him because it's like, yo, bro, he's not the guy he once was. It becomes a distraction.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent. That's just how it was and how it was perceived. So Bruce Arians was on with Kay Adams, great girl. And he was like, why is he being interviewed? But to your point, it's like, yo, bro, he's electric. We want to see what he says.
Bro,
he's a very polarizing
player. What he doesn't say.
Or what he doesn't say. Yeah.
When he's just...
Yeah. When he was
nuts,
being... Yeah.
Bro.
So that's
Love
why.
it.
But, and to your point, like, we even brought that up because you mentioned Winston. And it's like,
yeah,
Winston, he's going to have an amazing career. He did Super Bowl media row last year. And like, everyone was like, holy shit, this is the star of the Super Bowl week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was stealing the spotlight. But that's how it is, man. And regardless of how you feel about it, that's just like, it's kind of the truth. You don't want to be surrounded by all that chaos. Like I said, good, bad, or indifferent. So, yeah, I just think this will be a dope trade, man. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about this trade. I think it really helps both teams, and I think it's an opportunity to sort of salvage the season for both teams. Even though, the Giants are now 1-4. They play Philly on Thursday. It's going to be a nightmare. It always is when they play them. And then Cincinnati is 2-3. But you look at that division, bro. Baltimore now 1-4. Lamar's going to be out for a couple of weeks. And yeah, their schedule looks enticing, like we mentioned last week. But what if Pittsburgh just builds a 5-game lead on them? It don't matter after that. And I know they'll have the 2 games head to head with them later on. I just think that it's something that you should make. And then if you're Cincinnati, you get out of that that 28 plus million to T Higgins, and you just move on from there.
You made out on T Higgins yesterday. Pause.
Bro, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a crazy thing. And a lot of people, so like, I made a same game parlay. If you're following me on social media, you saw it at Nick Dais 10 if you're not. But I did a same game parlay, Chase, Laporta, Gibbs, and Higgins. And then when Chase scored the touchdown, they gave me a cash out. And I took the cash out because I looked at the live line for Higgins to score, because some sports books offer that. And it paid out more than if the parlay would have hit. And then I netted a profit. I had never done this before, and it worked out. So it's easier. It's easier for us to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I looked at the live odds and I'm like 11-1. If I put $80 on that, I went over 1,000. The parlay alone was 800, and I profit $62 or $63. I'm like, yeah, let's do it and hope he scores. And then he did. So I have never done this before. I tried to do it on the Monday night game. The odds didn't match up, but it was something where if you're gonna cash out as to net a profit, I don't agree, but I understand.
Yeah. And especially after the fact that T Higgins scores in garbage time.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Good. So do you want to go to the main event of the evening, the Pats Bills game next?
Yeah, let's go to that. What'd you think about this, since you want to bring it up?
Bro, how did we miss the changing of the guard games for Bo Nix and Drake May? Like, we missed it. We missed that this game that both of those quarterbacks played this weekend, it was the most pivotal game in their careers to this point. And I never want to miss that again, because I called Bo Nix last year, and all the shots that he was taking downfield with Sean Payton, I was like, this dude has it. And with Drake May, the plays that he made to win one of the games last year on the 4th down, I was like, this dude doesn't give up. And you saw it again last night in a big time moment. The Patriots showed up, bro. And this looks really, really good for the beginning of the season, in which I had put them in on a parlay to win their division. And it's looking strong right now. They got one down on Buffalo, and they just have to continue to build on this toughness. Didn't it feel like a different Patriots team last night? From the amount of people that were around the ball on defense to being able to move the chains on big time 3rd downs, it felt like a team that is built to win games later on in the year. And that's like a culture shift that I haven't seen from the Patriots. Even last year, you could see the pieces start to come in motion with Drake May. Obviously, adding Stephon Diggs to the equation is a huge plus, and it was a revenge spot for him. So I never again will miss when I see a rookie quarterback that I feel is promising on the game that will make their career, because we would have made a lot of fucking money this weekend on top of the money that we already made if we would have backed that same ideology, right?
I mean, you're looking at Denver closed as a 5-point underdog. You could have got them at plus 195. New England closed as a 8.5-point underdog, looking at plus 225. Yeah, they looked really good. Both of the teams, both Buffalo and Philly, were the last two teams that were undefeated. Both of them lost. And I'm more concerned about Buffalo than I am Philly. I think Philly's defense played really well. Buffalo's defense, bro, has been getting worked kind of all year.
I mean,
the Saints were driving up and down. Obviously the Jets didn't, do much, but like you look back at the Baltimore game, you give them a pass because Baltimore's offense is explosive. And you're like, all right, it was a classic shootout. Don't think too much of it. But then you look at Baltimore's defense, like that shit looks abysmal. And then Buffalo is just kind of getting worked. Philly, my concern with Philly, and we were talking to Isaiah before we started recording, like Barkley should never get less than 10 carries, like ever. Apparently he's texting like former, Hall of Fame running backs, like, when you're slumping, what should you do? It's like, bro, it's not you. This offense just you're the focal point. Let's run through you. And it opens up everything. That's why the passing game was working last year, because they had all these weapons and it was him being the playmaker that he is. And I think that was a very, very impressive come from behind victory for Denver. I was very impressed by Denver coming back, because I haven't been the highest on Denver, and I still think they're kind of suspect. I'm not buying entirely into the offense, but now they're 3-2, and there's a win that you didn't expect them to have. They play in London. They play the Jets, right? But it's a signature win for Denver and this era of Sean Payton and Bo Nix, because what was the knock on them last year? The only team that they beat that was above 500 was Tampa Bay. And then, they technically beat the Chiefs, but that was week 18 when no one played. And even this year, like, they didn't really beat anyone good. They haven't yet. And then this is a statement win,
Mm-hmm.
And they go into a place that's a very, very tough place to play. Philly had won 12 straight in that building. And the offense for Philly let them down. I thought the defense played very well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the offense, if we're going to talk about the worries that we have for the Eagles, like, this play calling, bro, is some of the worst play calling that I've seen on big, crucial possessions. I will always reference third downs, because if you just watch third downs, you'll understand how good a football team is. There was a 3rd and 6 with 6 minutes left in that game for the Eagles, in which they ran a 2-man route concept, not even on a rollout, just Jalen Hurts dropping back with 2 receivers to his left running routes, and then he called max protection on everybody else. It's abysmal, bro. And the pass ends up being deflected because everybody on the defense knows that these are the only 2 people that can get it. You got 4 people in coverage. Your life's pretty easy. So I do agree with you that the focal point has to be Saquon Barkley, but it could also be Saquon Barkley catching passes out of the backfield. Lots of short shit that I had texted you and I said, it's the Drew Brees and Sean Payton method to win a football game. Dink and dunk. Drew Brees was the king of 5-yard passes. And that is something that I think Jalen Hurts needs to start having in his repertoire, because everything can't be, bro, deep outside hitches, out routes, go balls. What does that do to your arm? And I mean, I'm not trying to like be a bitch or whatever, but like, as a quarterback, having to throw a fucking laser 25 times to the outer portion of the field is uncalled for.
And it's also risky, because if you miss your spot, it's a pick 6 the other way.
So they're putting him in bad spots, and yeah, rightfully so. That this Eagles team definitely should be worried. But we started talking about the Pats game. I know I tried to connect the two.
No, but it was important, because I think your logic behind connecting the two was really important, right? You had these 2 second-year quarterbacks going into buildings that are very, very hard to win in.
Yeah.
Both were on significant streaks. They're playing, I don't want to say iconic, but borderline iconic quarterbacks. One in division, if you're looking at Drake May and Josh Allen. The other one, you're looking at a Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, proven, established franchise quarterbacks. And you go in there, and to your point, like, they balled out. And I leave Sunday in week 5 feeling worse about my Bills prediction, because if you take away James Cook, which they shut him down, it's like, yo, you make Josh Allen beat you. Yeah, Keon Coleman made some crazy catches, contested catches. Kincaid has become more and more of a threat. And obviously we know about Shakir. It's like, yo, that ground game is really the bread and butter that makes Buffalo flourish. And I thought that Vrabel finally, this was the Vrabel game. Like, the signature win for this new era for both teams happened this week. So yeah, shout out to New England, and shout out to the Broncos, man. 2 teams that I was not high on coming into the year.
I have a rant about penalties really quick that I want to go on, and it ties into the Eagles game.
Okay.
Because the first one was the Unnecessary roughness on Zach Bond for diving after, like, as the player's leaning forward to stop him from getting a yard. NFL, fix this, bro, because I can't have a play stopped and the offensive line carry a running back 6 yards and think that that's okay. Zach Bond's literally doing what you're told, right? Do not let them get another yard, and gets flagged 15 yards for it. So here's the thing that really irked me about that penalty, because it was bitch made penalty. But they played it in slow-mo. You should not be allowed to play plays like that back in slow-mo, because of course it looks like he was down, which he was, and it just looks 10 times worse because it's slowed down.
Yeah.
So now only slow-mos for catches and targeting.
And bro, to your point,
Yeah.
you know what other call was hilarious in a bad way? The Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart just gets like body checked and they throw a rough in the passer. And as a Giants fan, I was just like, it was one of those things where we were talking with Maurice Corrett that one time, and I was like, listen, bro, when the flag is in your favor, hell of a call.
Yeah.
When it's not, you're like, yo, that's awful. Like even in the Monday Night Football game with the first touchdown that Kelsey scores, that was the most blatant fucking offensive pick play of all time.
I swear.
Juju Smith literally, like, if he's running his route this way, stop like this,
Blocks him.
blocks 2 fucking players, and yeah, no penalty at all, right?
Oh, well, no. There
Listen.
was a penalty, and Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
immediately sprinted to the referee
yeah.
and was yelling, 1 yard, 1 yard.
And bro, and you know,
1
like,
yard.
there's just so many inconsistent calls that are so frustrating. Like, again, the taunting play. There was another taunting play over the weekend where they get 15 yards and then the team gets a turnover and 12 players fucking off the bench come and start running onto the field to do a choreographed celebration. And that's not a problem, right? So, like, it's just, like, really, really inconsistent, bro.
So here, let's have fun with it, Nick. Since the rules are bullshit, I had come up with my own new rule that I think would revolutionize the NFL in a very cool way. You ready for this?
Sure, tell me. You've been excited about this.
I have been, because we had 2 Skycam interferences this past weekend. We had one on the Will Reichert field goal for the Vikings where it hits the wire of the Skycam. And then in the Jets-Cowboys game, the pass was batted and deflected right into the Skycam and it hit down. In both scenarios, no plays were redone. However, it made me Google, right? What happens when a punt hits the Dallas Cowboys scoreboard? And it will constitute a redo of the play if it does hit the scoreboard. So a redo of the play should have been done in both of these situations. It wasn't. So what I want to do as a new rule is, instead of quarterbacks throwing the ball away, which is like super lame and annoying, and you know, it's a part of football, but it sucks, right? Nobody wants to see it. I want the quarterbacks to hit the Skycam with the ball, and then they get to redo the play. So instead of throwing the ball out of bounds,
Aim for that.
aim for the Skycam and you get to redo the play again. I think that this is something that should be considered, because we're trying to make football more fun, obviously. So let's stop throwing the ball away. Imagine how cool that Russell Wilson drive would have been 2 weeks ago on Sunday Night Football had he had the chance to hit the Skycam. He would have done it 4 times in a row instead of...
I think he might have been trying to hit the Skycam, truthfully.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. But the cool part about this, Nick, because I've really thought about it, you know the Skycam's behind him, right?
Yeah.
So think about the situations where people throw it away. You're rolling out, you have 2 DNs on you. What do? You take your eyes off of downfield and you try to find the Skycam and rope it in there.
And what happens if you miss and you throw it out your end zone and then it's a safety?
I'm down for that too. The rules could be whatever you want it to be, people. This is this NFL. 2025 NFL, the rules are free. We're writing them. This is what they want. Honestly, with how much they've been Mr. Beastifying the NFL, how long until they put a poll out on one of these YouTube streams? Hey, Who should we call a flag on next? You know, shit like that. We're close.
Sometimes there's a lot of calls that you're like, yo, did they get the call from Vegas? Because it's very, very sketchy.
Facts.
One of them being, I feel like this used to happen once a year. It's now happened back-to-back weeks. Arizona, DeMarcado, lifetime ban from the NFL. Bro, for the love of all the football gods, you're up 21-6 and you're a journeyman. You get an opportunity, you bust out a 70-plus yard run. And I'm having deja vu, bro, because I think I was animated when I did this. Like, why can't we just wait one more step? He fumbles. Nick. He fumbles at the line, right? After busting that run, it would have been 28-6. You put the game away, right? This is back-to-back weeks that this happens. Last week, I defended it a little bit because I'm like, yo, Mitchell on the Colts, he fumbled going forward, which you don't really see as much. You always see the Deshaun Jackson. It's literally coined the Deshaun Jackson, right? Jonathan Taylor did this last year, but it's Jonathan Taylor. Is he an idiot? 100%. But he's the franchise running back, best player on the team. You're like, yo, bro, you're an asshole. Don't do that again. Technically, you were the fourth stringer. Connor went out. Benson went out. Michael Carter stepped in for you. He scored a touch. And then they're like, yo, bro, let's run this guy. Game's over. They run in gauge 8 and you break the tackles and you fumble. And then an unbelievable collapse by the Cardinals, which I said my toxic one was Cardinals -9.
You were right.
Bro, it knocked out a shitload of eliminator pools, one of the highest picks, because you're like, yo, if I use the Cardinals this week, Titans haven't won a game. Why not? Let me take a stab. And they'd be up 28-6. And then they cut to the sideline. Gannon is talking to him, and he like slaps him on the chest, and social media goes crazy. How dare the coach put his hands on a player? Bro, my coach one time slapped the shit out of me because I audibled out of a run play to a pass, and it stopped the clock. Then the other team, we ended up winning the game, but the other team got the ball back. He's like, you dumb fucking Greek. Slapped the shit out of me. Nothing happened.
No.
Nothing happened. You know what my mom told him at parent-teacher conference? He's like, I'm so happy you put your hands on my son. I've never hit him in his life. I got hit when I was 23 years old. We'll save that for another time. First time I got hit by my mom. My coach slapped me. I was fine. The coach hit him on the chest like, bro, don't fucking do that again. He probably told him what I just told you guys the last 90 seconds. So dumb. They collapse. They've now lost 3 games in a row. If you remember the Panther game, deja vu, that shit almost happened.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I think, George, it is the dumbest play a professional athlete does. The dropping of the ball at the 1 or 2 yard line when you could just literally take one more step.
Yeah.
It is an ultimate brain fart. It is a lifetime ban offense. If I was a GM, I would sprint down from the press box, grab the helmet, and be like, bro, not even good luck on your future endeavors. Get the fuck out. That's how I would handle that. It is egregious. You cost the team. And Gannon is fired up. You know why? Because he might lose his job at the end of the year. Sure. If they're like, yo, bro, listen,
sure.
We go 7-9, right? Hypothetical. And 8, it'd be 7-10. And like, imagine 8-9 makes the playoffs. It makes the playoffs for the Cardinals. And then they're like, yo, we got to let you go, bro, because we just got to, we got to try something new. And it's like, oh my God, if he didn't fumble. Fireable offense. Unbelievable. Cam Ward gets his first win. Calvin Ridley, he had a monster game, had over 100 yards. They end a 10-game losing streak due to the Titans. They covered. They're now 4-20 in their last 24 games against the spread. Shout out to the End Zone boys. I know you guys are probably enjoying it. They showed us some love last time that you shouted them out.
Yeah.
But like, bro, this, when
they didn't win, Nick.
But bro, do you know when coaches are like, well, it's not just one play? Yes, it was. It was one play. It was one play.
Because that one play, like you've been mentioning the football gods, that Cam Ward interception that ends up being a Tyler Lockett touchdown after the person who intercepted it fumbled. That's the football gods in full effect. And we got to stop, putting them down. This is their time of year. The football gods are the clouds in the sky on a summer day during football workouts. You got to pay respects to the football gods. And so what I want to do whenever you and I own a team, Nick, which I think might happen in our lifetime, I would like to manifest this. You and me, tag team GM of an NFL team. Every time that one of our players scores a touchdown, old school rugby style, they got to down the ball in the end zone themselves. If you don't do that, we make you run sprints. I
got a better idea.
Hit me with it.
If you run out the back of the end zone on a touchdown,
bonuses.
$50K bonus.
Bonuses. We're giving bonuses to every one of our players that sprint out the back of the end zone.
I want you to run like fucking Bo Jackson will run up the tunnel. That's how far into the fucking end zone I want you to go. Bro, or how about this? 100K if you give the ball to a fan.
100K to give a ball to the fan, but I also want to open up the staircase so that it's easy. Our players can run up the stairs, and because you never see this, you see the Lambeau Leap. Our team would be the first team ever to have their players run in the stands and high five all the fans after a touchdown. We're just trying to find ways to get players across the end zone with the ball securely in hand. Let's do it. There's no bonuses being given out like that. I think that NFL owners are missing out on this. They find these players for the weirdest of shit, especially like days after on video evidence. These players are getting fined like 40 grand, 35 grand. We're giving you the opportunity here to, win a fight bonus.
Yeah.
Bro, if you're the Lions, you better find a sponsor. Everybody scores for the Lions.
Fucking
that'd be crazy.
Incredible. Is there another game?
It went final. Jaguars over the Chiefs 31-28. It was
Monday winner. It was trust me. Boom. It was what was it for you?
It was my Ursulita.
Oh, this just puts a bow on a fantastic weekend. Listen. We strive for weekends and days like this, George. This is what we want.
Yes.
This is what we want. Carson Beck is the Heisman favorite. We literally only bet that because I have an obsession with Spanish chicks. That was my handicap. I told Jeremiah, he's like, yo, why'd you pick Carson Beck? I was like, when I tell you, you're not going to believe me. He dated a white girl, went to Miami, broke up with her because he saw 8th Street Latinas. That's it. That was a handicap. The U is back. They're the number one team in the country. Shout out to DJ Williams. He does the show Start with the Facts with Maurice Claret on the Come and Talk to Me network. The U is back, bro. Shouts to Michael Irvin. Shouts to Stat Baby. The U is back, and Carson Beck is leading the charge. And again, my handicap, very simple. It was only I can do this handicap, bro.
Yeah. By the way, they have a freshman receiver, Malachi Toney.
Oh, bro.
I mean, what is it with these true freshman receivers, bro? It's insane what these guys do in big time games.
Bro, like you saw Ryan Williams last year, Jeremiah Smith.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Add him to the list.
It's crazy. Yeah. No. They're legit. They're legit. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else from the NFL that you would want to discuss? I'm kind of good.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, I had already talked about Scattaboo making me look like a big idiot. Bro, I had even sent you his pancake.
Yeah.
I love how tough that dude plays.
And dude, he even got the cosign from Demario Davis. He was like, yo, that little kid.
He's like a little bad kid.
Yeah, he's like a little bad kid. He's like, and then he went up to him after the game. Like, that was cool. Look, man, that Giants game, it was really upsetting. Those 5 straight turnovers was just like spiraling out of control. But you know what? Like, good for the Saints too, because I feel like they've been playing better than their record. And Spencer Rattler has been keeping the first round pick on the sideline.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the issue for them.
No, I think this is just the growing pains of a new coach and trying to fit into a new culture. Our defense is old too, though. And, it was some big time spots there yesterday. I will say this, as much as we don't want to, put the blame on Rattler, like there's a certain killer instinct that I've seen in some quarterbacks this year specifically, like Josh Allen comes to mind. Trevor Lawrence tonight against the Chiefs comes to mind, where they flip the switch of like, I'm not I'm not losing this game. And he doesn't have that. There's plenty of times where you're like, bro, just like stop trying to pass the ball, like just win the game with your feet. And once he unlocks that, I think that I'll be more of a believer. I mean, obviously the Giants beat themselves, but bro, it was 19-14. If that Scattaboo fumble just gets tackled, I mean, I think the Giants still pull it out in, you know, a backdoor cover type of fashion, late game drive. So I'm not 100% sold on the Saints. You know, how crappy does it feel for Spencer Rattler though? Like that's your first win. Like, bro, you literally had to have the other team to have 5 fucking turnovers.
Yeah.
You didn't even score the final touchdown.
Yeah.
Didn't score a touchdown in the second half, I don't think. Yeah.
Dude, what about
It's tough.
morning of? I text you Taysom Hill is active.
Yeah, and I'm glad you trusted me on this.
Yeah.
Because Taysom Hill's a very touch and go player. By the way, they used him everywhere.
Yeah. Bro,
he will be in the anytime touchdown parlay.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Week.
Because sportsbooks do this, and I get asked this all the time. All the time. Yo, what book do you use? All of them. We've driven to Arizona to make bets because every sports book gives you different odds for different things. Perfect example, Taysom Hill. Every sports book in town plus 300 to score a touchdown. MGM app 12-1.
Yeah.
Autoplay. You just have, when the line is that drastic, you have to. And I just felt like the way they're going, and he got enough touches inside the red zone too. Like, I'll make that bet any time of the week. Like, it was why I bet Higgins and Chase. Like, they were being priced like backup tight ends. Plus 280 for T. Higgins at the start of the game. Like, yo, what are we doing? That's crazy. That's a crazy line. Chase plus 180. Wild lines. And that happens. Like, there's some sports books that'll just give you better numbers, especially in the futures market. You might have one book that has Baker Mayfield 11-1. The other book might have him 20-1. Where are you betting it? Obviously at 20-1. You don't have an account, you make one. That's how it is. So when I get asked that all the time, it's like, yo, I have a whole tab in my phone, sports betting. 3 scrolls. So that's 9, 18. There's like 26 apps.
Can you name off all the ones that you have in your phone right now?
FanDuel, DraftKings, PointsBet, Station, MGM, Caesars, William Hill, Circa, Rebet, Underdog, Prize Picks.
Bet365?
Bet365, yes.
Bet Rivers?
I have Bet Rivers. I got Fanatics.
ESPN Bet?
I have ESPN Bet.
Shit.
I'm blanking. I got to cheat on the other one. Can I cheat on the last 2?
Yeah, it's
Which one?
impressive that you've made it this far, if I'm being honest.
Boyd Sports
I feel like you
and
did
Hard
that.
Rock.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I think it's every book available. Oh, and I got Better too.
Boom. So now you can add that to the clip that I know you're going to make. And like, which book do I bet with? I want you just to list off 26 in a row.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah. We're not married to any of them unless they throw us some money.
Come on.
And we'll only bet with you, baby. But until then, we're holding ourselves out. That's what we're doing. George, there's nothing else I want to discuss from week 5. Is there anything else you would want to discuss?
No. I'm going to discuss with you off camera.
Oh, no.
Something.
I got to do it. Sorry. I got to do it. I just remembered. We live in Vegas. We got to talk about the Raiders. Sorry, fellas. We got 2 Raider fans in the building. We got 1.5. We got 1.5 Raider fans in the building. Geno Smith now has 9 interceptions. He's thrown an interception in all but one game. The one game he didn't throw an interception, they were getting their shit punched in by the Commanders, and the Commanders didn't want to defend anymore, and they let him throw for 289 yards and 3 touchdowns. He duped everyone week 1. The marriage ain't working with Pete Carroll here. They play Tennessee this week. I was talking with Antoine, I think it was last night. This is going to be the only game they probably have a real legitimate home field. Because shout out to the End Zone boys, 2 shout outs this episode. you never hear, oh my God, the Titans fans are traveling. It ain't Philly. It ain't the Bears. It ain't because the last home game the Raiders had, they played Chicago. And I remember talking to Treasure because she went to that game. She was like, yo, I thought it was a Chicago game. I was like, yeah, anytime they play these big fan bases, and it makes sense, right? Like my whole argument was always, if you're a fan of a team and you want to go to one road game,
Kansas City?
you're not picking Minnesota in December.
No.
The Giants play week 17 here in Vegas. If I lived in New York, I'd be like, yo, fellas, I want to go to Vegas holiday weekend. Let's go there. That's where so that's why every time the Raiders play a game, it looks like the other team has invaded the stadium. This week, it won't be the case. Is Brock Bowers that valuable that because he's been banged up the whole year?
Yeah.
Got hurt. Whether it was the preseason, he got hurt week one.
Week one.
And it's just like, what is this guy worth 3 points on the spread? Like, what? I know he's the best tight end in the league. That's what everyone was projecting him coming into this year. But, bro, they have looked awful.
Yeah.
They have looked awful. Geno Smith just completely unraveled again. Just looks bad. What are your thoughts?
No, he is rattled. And that's why, I mean, you say it's crazy to like try to make a trade for like Mac Jones or something, but it's like, if you're the Raiders, like what else are you going to do? At least Mac Jones isn't, an unproven player in the NFL. People are saying like starting the Shadur talk where they're like, oh, to try to find a way to package him to get him to come to Vegas. So like the fact that it's gotten to this point now, it's because the Raiders are, and this point in time, we're like, we can't wait. In Vegas, you know this better than anybody because you've lived in the city here for the last 5 years. This isn't a city of losers. Even though it's built off of losers, the reason why I say that is if you're not winning, there's 45 other shows that are happening the same day you're playing. People aren't going to fucking watch you. And they've lost the team officially. And this is a moment in which if they don't make a drastic move, I mean, you're talking about a fan base that is really going to start turning on the new regime. And what is the answer? I don't know. I don't think it's Pete Carroll in the long term. I think that this was a project put together by Brady in the final hours, similar to what he did in Tampa Bay. And it hasn't worked out to this point. So you have to go back to the drawing board and you have to get to the fundamentals of what makes a football team good. They have to develop an identity. They don't have one right now. And I know that this upcoming week, them as 3-point favorites, it might be my Ursulita because I also feel like this is the last chance for the Raiders, right? This is a big moment for them to prove themselves to the city and the new regime.
So I wish it was 3 points. It's not.
Has it jumped?
They're minus 5.5.
Wow. It opened at 3.
Yeah. And this is one of those games where you call the hotline if you bet.
I get it.
Like, I've thought about, do I use the Raiders as my eliminator pool pick? But then you feel like an asshole holding that ticket. But if there's a game for them to win, it would be this. Tennessee coming off the high of winning.
Correct.
Right? So I get it. However, I just think this should not make the Thursday show for you, bro. It's just one of those where like, nah. We're riding high. Your Monday winner last week crushed it with the Cowboys. I was telling all
this is how it would have sounded if I started to pitch fucking Drake May to you last week.
Yeah.
This is what would have happened if I would have tried to pitch you Bo Nix going to Philly. So I just want to go based off the moment and how just depleted the organization feels right now.
Yeah.
From the inside. You're playing a dog shit team. This is literally, number one pick. This is the number one pick bowl for this upcoming year. Like, we're looking far ahead.
Bro, the Jets are still winless.
True.
Say, I read
number 2 pick bowl. Yeah.
I read this stat on ESPN.com. Ready for this? Since 1933, there's never been a team to play 5 weeks in the NFL and not have a turnover.
The Jets are one of those teams.
The Jets.
Is the team.
Yo, Sauce. Great nickname.
Because he gets cooked, bro.
Toast should be the name. And that shouldn't be, because he should be a way better player than how he's been playing the last couple of years, honestly. And, you know, it's unfortunate, but they're, you know, on Wednesday's show, we kind of teased it on the Instagram. We're doing the power rankings. We had a lot of success last year. People liked it. The down bad power rankings, bro. There's like 12 teams.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that. The down bad power rankings. That's how we're going to dedicate the show on Thursday. Let us know. Let us know. We've gotten Jets. We've gotten Bengals. We've gotten the Giants. You know, hell, we've gotten the Niners because of the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that's a 4-1 team. So there's you know, the Ravens with an MVP, multiple time MVP. So we'll be doing that. I have nothing else to discuss. The Colts
Monday winner.
The Colts beat the Raiders, smoked them. Yeah, let's do Patreon real quick. Patreon.com/Veterans Minimum. Shout out to all the members of the Patreon. $1 a month. That's all we're asking for. Hit the link. Subscribe, support the show. You get access to the Discord, like we said. An unbelievable weekend in UFC, an unbelievable weekend in week 5. You hit the Discord for a Trevor Lawrence and Pat Mahomes 25-1 parlay. And again, we don't make our money selling picks. This is not that kind of show. That's why a lot of people fuck with the show. This is something for us to continue to build the show. We're only charging $1. You get less angry if we go 0 for 4 and you pay us $1 a month, by the way, not a day, a month. Patreon.com/Veterans Minimum. Okay, George, my Monday winners are now 3-1 on the year with the Jaguars winning. And trust me, it sounds so much better. 22-6-1. Sounds so good. Sounds so good. We'll have the full recap of the picks on the Thursday show. But Monday winner, George. And for those of you joining for the first time, welcome. Hit the subscribe button. Follow us on all social media outlets at Veterans Minimum. Monday winner, we pick a game for the Sunday slate or the next week of games on Monday, because sometimes this is the best line that you're going to get. George had the Cowboys -3, closed at -2.5. They won by 2 touchdowns. And then I had the Jaguars +3.5 last week. George, the floor is yours. What do you got for Monday winner?
Colts -6.5 jumps out at me right now. They play the Cardinals at home. Cardinals off of a horrific loss. It is like hot seat time. And if the Colts are as for real as we think they are and blowing out shit teams, no different here. And -6.5 I like. But the one that really jumped out to me was the Chiefs-Lions game. Lions coming in as dogs right now, especially after what we just watched the Jaguars do to that Chiefs defense. I think the run game is going to be unlocked for the Lions. This is an outdoor Jared Goff game, but I still want to back him because it's not that cold out yet. So those are my 2 Monday winners: Lions +1 and the Colts -6.5. What about you?
Am I getting greedy if I give you 2 that jump out to me?
No, shit, dude. I gave you 2. I like some of the lines this week.
The Browns just played in London and they come back to play the Steelers off a bye week. Stefanski is 11-21 in division against the spread. The Steelers are 4.5-point favorites. I think this spot is like not even a Christmas. It's like the best gift you could get if you're Pittsburgh.
Right.
You look at the rest of your division. Cincinnati, cross them off. Baltimore, borderline cross off. Cleveland, cross off. It's like, we should just cruise, make sure no one gets hurt, and maybe ramp it up around week 15 if you're Pittsburgh. I'm going to take them in eliminator. Rodgers extra time to prepare. They're getting healthier. They've been dealing with some injuries with Joey Porter Jr., Jalen Warren, Alex Highsmith. It's an older team against a younger team in Cleveland, but they're also coming from London. Dylan Gabriel, first game in division on the road against Pittsburgh. I better see them fucking terrible towels. You know, we're wearing yellow for a reason. We did line it up this way, even though the shirt is fire. Pittsburgh -4.5. I like it up to 6.
Shit. We like these.
Yeah.
Bro, there's a, like I
Remember,
said,
Cleveland, I like Cleveland at home. On the road, I don't like
Different
Cleveland.
story.
Yeah. Even with the quarterback changes. So give me Steelers -4.5. I like it to 6.
And you have the Cowboys, by the way, in the same exact spot that they were this past week, going on the road to Carolina. -3.5 for the Cowboys. I'm just saying, this is they made Tua look good.
Just be careful.
Oh, I know.
That one just, the sniff test is just it's a little suspicious. That's all.
You've always said we're just conditioned to seeing those two teams play each other close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, yo,
The Panthers are way better than the Jets, but that isn't really saying much.
It's not saying much. Here's the thing. Panthers, can they start every game down 17? Because I like Bryce Young when they're like, yo, schoolyard bullshit. Even though I dumped on him last week, where I was like, yo, I think I'm good. I'm still good on Bryce Young. However, when he's trailing, it's the same thing you saw with Jalen Hurts. I know, crazy comp, but just hear me out. When they went down to the Rams in that second half, and they were like, yo, fucking let's air it out. And you're like, oh, okay. Kind of saw the same thing with the Panthers. When they go down, yeah, they get it going, right? I just think I would just be careful with that one. And then the other one that I really like, this is another one. This is why I wanted to give you 2 picks. Atlanta's a 5-point underdog next Monday at home against the Bills, coming off a bye week. Atlanta at home, bro. Atlanta at home or indoors. Actually, I'll take that back. Atlanta indoors is a problem. Hey, Monday Night Football, Bijan, this is where I need 3 tutties.
For sure.
I need 3 touchdowns and 250 yards from scrimmage. I need something crazy.
Which, by the way, will not be hard on that Bills defense.
Yeah. Like, I'm not, I know I'm being kind of funny, but I'm also being serious. Like, they could be had. I need a Derrick Henry game from week 1 with no fumble that cost them the game. But, bro, Atlanta +5, give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that. I think they went outright.
Damn, back-to-back losses for the Bills.
Yeah, they did it last year. Last year they lost back-to-back games. They lost to Baltimore and then they lost to Houston. And then everyone was like, oh, what about? And then, they got hot again. Buffalo's schedule is very favorable. That was a big reason why they were like +300 to be the best record in football, because the schedule was. And now look, the Patriots game was supposed to be one of those wins. And any given Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Tuesday, whatever, they play on every day except for like Wednesdays, I think. Shit, they might even be playing Wednesdays. But anyone could be had. So I like Atlanta +5. I like them to win outright, so I even like the 3.5, and then I like the Steelers -4.5. I like that up to -6. It's the Monday winners.
That's it. All
things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. I'll be honest with you, bro. I felt good this episode. It's good when you cash in.
When we started with
cash in
a big time interview with a person who's fucking. That was a lot.
It was a lot, this weekend, bro. It was a lot. It's good. Feels good.
Join the Patreon. What are you doing?
Patreon.
Come on now, people.
Subscribe, rate, review, follow us on all social media outlets, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Gold medalist, bronze like your medal is. So many deer in headlights, but it's bedtime. Hear that supper bell, main course, be the venison.
Dab. Most dangerous game. Either kill or be killed.